Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana. Happy New Year to everyone. I feel like this week I'm finally getting going on my week. Last week, even though it was already the new year, I felt kind of like I was still on vacation. So this week I finally feel back to the swing of things. And last week I had my son on here with me, and that was a lot of fun. And oh my gosh, I have to say that my son was like so nice during the holiday. I just like I really miss him now. Like I thought by the third week that he was here, we would be like uh, butting heads or something like that, so that, like that transition from when you are a kid to being an adult and, being home and having your parents, kind of controlling you a bit more again. I thought it would be kind of a bad situation, but actually it wasn't. So now it feels kind of weird not having him here, but it was lovely that he was on there. And I popped that video onto YouTube. So if any of you want to go back and watch it, if you missed it, go back and watch it. You can get a glimpse of my life through the eyes of my son. It was kind of fun. And good morning, Brenda. Glad to have you here with me. So this week I'm going to be doing a lot of things with hearts. If you saw yesterday, I'm gonna grab it. Oh. I started off the week with this is actually a paid tutorial. This is my little box. I call it a clamshell heart box. It's a very unusual shaped box, but it's a lot of fun. And so this is a paid tutorial, but you can earn it free with an order, or it's free for people on my team, or you can purchase it right on my blog. But it's a little bit different of a box, and it uses the Heartfelt Bundle, and that is what I'm going to be using a lot of this week. This week's card that I made for our Casing Tuesday segment is also using that bundle. So a lot of things with hearts this week. We want to gear up towards Valentine's Day because we don't have a long time actually for a paper crafter before Valentine's Day. We need to get our supplies in and we need to start creating. And we can't do that too late into January because then we run into problems of getting everything done. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Connie. So happy to have you here. So let's get into what we are copying today. Let me pull up the card. Where are you? I think you are right here. So here's the card from this week. Now you might notice it looks a lot like the card we had last week. And the when we do our picks for the catalog, sometimes like we don't always like look at, oh, what did we do last week? And because it's like two different catalogs, 2 different years, we didn't really kind of figure that out. So the sketch is a little bit similar because it has that same focal point layer, but it doesn't have that band across. It has a little greeting on the side. So it's still a little different. There are different cards on the group today if you want to go check them out. Let me get rid of that. Oh, and here is the sketch. Let me get rid of that. So we made the sketch very bare bones. You know, you've got your card base, you've got a big layer in the center, and then you've got a tiny little layer that you can use for a greeting. Or I saw some people use paper in the background and use that little smaller area to put an image. There's lots of different options to do for this particular sketch. So I'm going to show you what I did. So let me switch my cameras here. Okay, so here is what I did, and I wanted to use this Heartfelt Bundle on my card because this is my feature this week. And this is kind of a romantic card. It could be a friendship card too. The roses are red, violets are blue, and everyone knows how to finish that off if you've grown up in North America or you speak English. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And people have done, different endings to that, but generally that is the ending to that. So I guess it could be a friendship card. It's not overly lovey-dovey. But there is my card, and it's pretty simple, but I'm going to show you how I created this. This is the Heartfelt Bundle. It comes with the Heartfelt stamp set and the Heart Punch Pack. Now, you don't buy these punches separately. They come in a pack, so you can get the stamp set and the punch pack separately, but the punches come together. And you will want them together because the smooth-sided heart fits perfectly onto the scallop heart. When you buy these together, though, you get 20%, it's not 20% off, you get 10% off compared to if you were to buy them individually. And I think you really will want to get the stamp set too, because the images fit so nicely together, and I think that makes it quite nice. And lots of nice greetings in here too. So let me pop those out of the way for the moment. I'm also using the stitch nested dies, so for this focal point layer. So to start off, I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White. I'm going to take my Real Red and Flirty Flamingo ink pads. And where did my stamp is hiding? So I'll start off with my Flirty Flamingo. And I had to re-ink my Flirty Flamingo last night. And when you're re-inking, here's my Flirty Flamingo. When you're re-inking a stamp, you know, or an ink pad, you kind of put it on here, and the ink tends to stay right near the top. So let me see if I got so what I did, which you might find helpful too, is I just take a clear block and I just kind of give it like a little, like that. So it helps it move into the ink pad a little bit. So that way it helps so that it doesn't have so much ink, because you get dry and then all of a sudden when you put it on, it kind of wants to stay near the top. So if you work it into the ink pad just a little bit, it really helps with the next image that you stamp. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you didn't know that little tip. All right, so let's grab my stamp. And then this one, you're going to want to press down, but because it's photopolymer, like leave it contacted for a while, but just kind of don't press down super, super hard, because there is some detail in this stamp and you want it to transfer. Now, see, I didn't do a good job right there. I need to stand up when I stamp. But I have a little bald spot right there, little tiny, you probably can't even see it. But I'm going to cover that with a bow, so I really don't care at this moment. So let me see if I can do a little bit better job with my red heart. I'm going to stand this time when I stamp, and I think that helps a little bit, just to get the even pressure and just to, just with the overall stamping. Now, when I stamp the next one, I always kind of turn this, tap, tap, tap. Oh, and I cleaned this in between on my Stampin' Scrub, but I also have my chamois on there, so you didn't see that. I like to clean in between, because if you don't clean in between, then you start to muddy your ink pad, and I don't like that. I like to have pure things. Okay. There we go. See, that's a better stamped image. You don't want to smush down too hard, because I did the first time I stamped, I smushed down really hard, and I lost some of the detail down here, some of the grid. So, you know, practice when you get the stamp. Make sure you have the right touch for the stamp. It's not hard. I'm just saying that with photopolymer, you want to be a little bit careful. It is a little bit more squishy than the rubber. Okay, let me clear this off, put it aside. And then what I wanted to do is, I did stamp a couple of these and punch them out with just as is, just to show you the difference of what you can do with this. So I'm going to take my smooth-sided heart, and I'm actually going to just punch out the inner part of both of these. I'll show you the difference. Okay, so got that. And I'll do this one. You just want to make sure you center it so that the pattern is equal. Okay. So that's the difference. You leave, when you do the smooth sided one, you leave the scallop on the edge. So then you can layer it up. And I forgot to grab some cardstock. Need to walk across the room, grab some Flirty Flamingo. Okay. This is what happens when I forget to bring stuff over. Now I'm going to take my scallop and I'm going to just punch a real red heart out of real red cardstock. And I'm going to punch one out of Flirty Flamingo. 2. Okay. So there's 2 ways you can do the hearts. The quick and easy way, you just stamp and punch with a scallop punch, or you can layer up like this. The reason I wanted to layer up like this is I wanted a little bit more definition. You can see that this one is a little lacy on the outside, so it doesn't define the heart very well, and I wanted a really crisp outer edge. But if you were in a hurry, you could just do these and it would be really quick and easy. So what I'm going to do is take some Tombow, and this Tombow's almost done. I might need to switch to my other bottle. Oh, we still have a little bit. Okay. And when this Flirty Flamingo dries, it dries up a little lighter, so it actually matches the cardstock better once it's dry. They must have a really hard time matching ink because you know, you think you've got the right color and then it dries and it's slightly different colors, so they must have to play a lot with just getting those ink shades just right. Real red has been around, I think, as long as I have been involved with Stampin' Up. It's one of, I think, the only colors that we've had all this time. It's a tried and true color. So you can see the difference between the hearts right there. And I'm going to bring in this piece that I cut with the stitch nested framelits. And I'm going to layer these on here. This one goes pretty close to the top. Right about there. It goes just underneath the stitching here, and then maybe like a 1/4 of an inch from this edge here. And then we'll bring this in. And this one is just above the stitching here. And it's about 1/4 of an inch from right there. Okay, so, but you could have also done them like this. Okay, so there's that look, or there's this look. So either way, you decide what you want when you do these hearts. There's just different ways. I'm just gonna check to see if there's any comments. Aw, thank you for everyone that says that it's cute. Thank you for all the comments. Sorry, I just had to stop and read for a second to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Sometimes I don't have my volume on and I'm like trying to be more cognizant of everything that's going on. I also cut a little framelit or a die with the second smallest stitch nested dies. And then I'm going to take my Memento ink pad and just ink up the greeting. Roses are red, violets are blue. You know, I know we used to say kind of all sorts of weird rhymes with that too. I can't remember any of the really bad ones, but there were some not so nice ones too, because, you know, kids being kids, they would make little rhymes that aren't quite as nice. Then you want a card base, and I just did a thick Whisper White card base. The reason I did this, the sketch for the card had this was not a separate piece. The paper went right to the edges. And I like that idea, but if I want to make several of one card out of a sheet of this beautiful designer series paper, I can only get 4 layers if I do a 5.5 by 4.25 layer. But if I do a 5.25 by 4-inch layer, I can get 6 cards out of one sheet. So I tend to want to use that smaller measurement and then put it on a card base. It just makes a little bit more sense. I don't always do that, but if I'm going to make a lot of one card, yeah, I think it's better to get 6 out of a sheet than 4 out of one sheet. So this paper has such pretty patterns, and I like really hated the fact that I covered up the prettier pattern in a sense, but the pattern, this neutral pattern on the back, looked a lot better. But I wanted to show you that this card could be done with almost any pattern in the paper. So I chose a slightly different pattern for this morning. And it also has kind of little arrows and polka dots. Just pretty. This paper is perfect for Valentine's Day. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. Pull it out. It is, okay, we've had some papers in the past and they've been a little bit more artistic, but this one is kind of like a very traditional Valentine's paper, pinks and reds. So if you like traditional Valentines, this is great paper. And it also has those little shiny elements. It's a specialty paper, so it is a just gorgeous, beautiful paper that you will love to use for making your Valentines. It also has some hearts that can be punched out or cut out. So I'm just gluing this onto the center, making sure it's centered. I think that's centered. Press down. Okay, and then I want to add, I made a little bow earlier. This is the real red stitched satin that's in the mini catalog. Perfect for Valentine's Day. If you don't like the really shiny ribbon, I can also recommend out of the annual catalog, this one is the cotton ribbon, and it's a little bit more matte in finish. So if you don't like really shiny, they're the same width and they both look very nice. They both look very nice on a card or for your Valentine's projects. And then for this bow, I like to use like 2 mini glue dots. So I'm going to put 1, 2 dots on the back of that. And I'm just going to stick it down in the middle of my flirty flamingo heart. Looks like I might need to trim up my one end a little bit. It's gone a little rogue on me. Let me see if I can turn it around. It's the way I stuck my mini glue dot down. Okay, it's just, it wants to go rogue. I'll have to fix the cut on that in a second. Okay, and then I'm going to take Roses Are Red, this little greeting, and I'll put 2 little dimensionals on the back of here, just to pop it up a little bit. Get rid of the backings into my garbage can. Hopefully nothing else has fallen into my garbage can. Do you have a garbage can right by your desk, your work desk? Have you ever thrown into that garbage can anything that you do need? Oh my gosh, I've done that so many times. It's not good. Sometimes I put my garbage, because it's a paper garbage, sometimes I let it sit all bundled up on the side for about a week just to make sure that I hadn't lost anything recently that I need to go dumpster diving in. So I kind of just leave it on the side just to kind of make sure, okay, I didn't lose my, I don't know, paper piercing tool or whatever, glue. I don't know what I would lose, but I just, sometimes something drops in there and I don't even know what it is. I just heard a conk. And then there's something in there that I know should not have gone in there, and that's not good. The last thing I need is pearls. Let me grab my ribbon scissors too. So I'm going to take my little spatula from my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pop up a couple of these pearls and just put them on here. The pearls are nice because they're so neutral. Now we do sell some cute little jewels right now that are in the mini catalog, but they don't have adhesive backing on them, and I'm a little lazy. I really like ones that have adhesive backing on them because they're a little bit faster, but the other ones are they're a little prettier, a little fancier, so I can show you those in a second too. So those little pearls just add a little bling without taking away from the card because they're the same color as my layer. So they're there, but they're not there, right? That's kind of a trick when you're making a card. And I'm just gonna fix this. Is you want to have like pretty elements. Okay, now I'm gonna have to cut this side a little shorter too. You want to have pretty elements. Okay, can't go any shorter, otherwise it's not gonna look good. Harg, I hate it when my bows don't turn out that nicely. Stay down, down, sit, stay. Okay, it's not too bad, but that's one of the things when you're creating a card. What is your focal point and how do all the other elements support that? So my focal point, I believe, in this card are these two hearts. Then I have this greeting. It's smaller so it doesn't compete, you know, so your eye goes to the hearts, then it goes maybe to this little greeting. It might see the pearls, but they're blended in the background. And then it goes around to the other end of the card. It doesn't distract from the focal point because you want your eye to go to one point. When your eye has too many places to go, it doesn't look right often. So you want to have like one place where your eye goes and then moves around the card. So those are the cards. Which one do you like better? Do you like the one with the flirty flamingo background, or this background with the lighter pink paper? They're both kind of cute. All right, I said I was going to show you the paper. This paper is awesome. Let me pull out not the scraps because there's so much scrapitude. I've already used this for many things. Okay, so we've got this paper with the hearts. This has a shiny foil element to it, and this one you can use it to punch, use it with a punch. On the background, just cute little heart pattern, very nice. We've got this pattern here. This can also be punched out with maybe the smooth punch. This side has the foil element, and then there on the back side is the one card base that I used, or a pattern that I used. It's just so pretty. Look at this one. This one's all shiny. It's beautiful. Just polka dots, and then just a profusion of hearts on the back side. Very useful patterns. Then we've got this one, lots of little hearts. And then we've got stripes on the background. Stripes are always a great neutral background. We've got this one, and this one kind of has a pearlized heart in the center. On the back, we have this other design that I used on my card with the little arrows, just a nice neutral pattern. And then finally, we have this one, just cute little hearts all in a row. And then on the back, we have a diagonal stripe. So these papers are just absolutely wonderful for traditional Valentine's cards. And those shiny foil elements are just gorgeous. So, oh, one more thing I want to show you. Okay, these are, you could have also used these. They're From My Heart faceted gems. So you can see in there, these ones you would just need a mini glue dot to use these ones. So they're pretty, they're blingy, they match with the paper really well. But if you have trouble with, trying to combine things, these good old standby pearl jewels are such a great way to go because they just are very easy to use. Okay, I've done enough talking. Let me move over my camera. Ha, here I am. Okay, let me just go back and read some of the comments. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you. I'm so glad you like the card. Someone said they liked my tip on the paper. That was when I said I cut it just a little bit to the inside of the card, 5 1/4 by 4, rather than going all the way out to the outside of the card, because as soon as you get to 4 1/4, that means you can only get 4 out of a sheet of 12 by 12 rather than 6. So that's just, it's a good little tip, especially say you're going to do a card class, then or if you're going to do multiple cards, then you want to be able to get several more cuts out of that paper. Okay, Betty says she'll have to watch the replay. Oh, well, thank you. I hope you do. Karen says she likes the card that I did today slightly better, this one here. So yeah, I guess, I don't know, it's funny because I think I like the card that I did first. I don't know why. I just love that paper. So I'm glad that someone else likes the other card, because that way I don't feel sad for this card over here. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. And as everyone hopefully knows, it's celebration time. And for customers, that means if you spend $50, for every $50 or for every $100 you spend, you get to choose a reward out of our rewards catalog. So it's a great time to get rewarded. Now the punch pack, the bundle that I was using today, is almost at $50. So if you just spend about $5 more, then you can get to that $50 mark and get a celebration reward. I have a link down below to my blog posts, so you can click on over to my blog. It has a lot more information about celebration. You can join our Casing Tuesday Facebook group and join us in copying some cards. You're welcome to post them on our group, or you're welcome to just case with us and enjoy them on your own. We have, I think, about 2,000 members now. Not everyone posts though, but it's nice that there's a lot of people joining us, at least in spirit. And then I have my host code down below, my link to anything else you could possibly think of, my email list. If you need to get connected with me, just check down below in the description of this video and you will find how to get connected. All right, guys, stay tuned. Later this week, I will be doing 3D projects with the Heartfelt Bundle, perfect for Valentine's Day. I'll be doing different ones, so you have some different choices if you want to get that bundle and create with it. Okay, well, I will see you later this week, and next week I'll be back with another Casing Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.